the warning I have? As you join, have a look at the warning I have. The warning that says at the very top when you enter, join, no tone policing, strictly opposition only. Is there anything else I need to add? I'm thoroughly annoyed that the blurred shadow of Bob. Sorry about that. Molly, my dear, you're back again.
Of course.
Are you here to convince me that your accent is superior to Essex again?
Yes, but I think you know deep down that I'm right. So I think, yeah, but I feel like I should come up and entertain you, you know? I just grace you with my presence.
Well, do you have a friend from Essex who you could ask join instead?
Oh, you absolute
Look, the
ass.
truth is that you just people have it's sort of like this, I guess. When people ask who is my type, I'm very
You say Essex.
no, I'm very hesitant to ever say I have a type because realistically when I look at the women who I've dated, there's not really a lot of commonalities between them. So, like I've dated Asian women, black women, white women, so there's not like a racial preference. Blondes, brunettes, redheads, um,
I
short
mean,
and very tall. However, what I was going to say was I have expressed that I have certain weaknesses. And the weaknesses really more so are not, people often perceive weakness to mean those are my preferred, whereas it's really that if someone has this, I kind of don't see negative traits. So, for example, if a woman's a redhead, that's a weakness. That's a weak spot for me. And that's just Irish conditioning. I can't avoid that.
okay, but what about
And
my accent? Is that a weakness?
so I would say certain British accents for sure are a weakness. And I would say the London accent is definitely a weakness. And I would say the Essex accent is definitely a weakness. And I can't really say there's many other accents that are a weakness for me.
Are you classing mine as London?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I would class
Sorry,
yours.
simple.
Yeah, I would class yours as. I mean, I would just consider yours more the posh English accent.
Okay, but as long as mine is also a weakness, like I need to be at least equal to or superior to
Why?
the Essex weakness.
Why? Why does it matter?
Because
I
I
feel as
can't
though. Hello, Mac. I just saw you join. Hey, Mac.
any like if you went up to any Londoner or like anywhere
In
else in the
Brussels.
UK and you said that your weakness was an Essex accent, like I can't even the looks you would get.
What would that communicate to people?
That it's just absurd.
No,
It's
but
just absurd.
why would it communicate that?
Um, because it's just like a general rule. It's like when you come into the UK, you have like rules here. And the
So
first
I'll
one is
Yeah, Irish people are not very keen on following English rules for obvious reasons. I think part of the issue is as follows. It's the socioeconomic aspect. Your accent is a posh accent, which implies wealthy. Most
ugh,
Irish people did not grow up wealthy. And so Essex women seem to be someone who we connect with a little bit more because of socioeconomic ties. I think that's a
that's so
large part of
silly
it.
though.
I mean, it's important.
I get
Hey,
it,
Mac. And Mac,
but
let me know when you want to talk because I'm wide open.
I get it though, but like it's such a big like generalization saying anyone with a posh accent is all wealthy and
Well,
anyone
it's,
who's
yeah, just to be
Essex is
clear,
not.
yeah, it's not about saying they're all. It's really just about predisposed stereotypes that you are predisposed to. So, and it's also about comfort level as well. I genuinely am not. When people would ask what my comfort area in the world would be, or like comfort, sort of like people talking to, I don't like engaging with rich people at all. And by nature of my prior job and function, I engage with rich people all the time. But like, if I ever had to go out to the Hamptons and shit, I
Yeah, no.
feel like a fraud. I don't connect to that culture whatsoever. I grew up dirt poor, and so I don't feel comfortable around things that to me I associate with wealth. And I would
No, I get
say
that.
the posh British accent is one I would associate with wealth.
Oh,
And so that's why I think I'm predisposed towards the Essex. I would
no,
say
it's
the
just
Essex.
annoying because it's not true. But I get it, but it's annoying.
Well, I mean, there's a pro and con in the sense that I would say that I'm equally have a weakness for both, but for different reasons. Essex, because I feel from a socioeconomic standpoint a connection, whereas your posh accent is because a lot of my favorite rom coms growing up were English women that usually involved sort of the posh accent. And so in my head, that's what an English woman was until I obviously got old enough to pop on over and see that it's different accents everywhere.
Okay, but which one has a stronger weakness for you? Just complete opposite. Which one? Which
I would
one?
say I would say it's in two different areas. So if it's for a casual schmexual affair, Essex, hands down. If it's for long
You,
term dating, posh, hands down.
why? Just why?
Hands down, I'm just saying.
How you were acting earlier, just cancelled. Absolutely cancelled.
Retro glory, they completely ruin lives mid sticks.
Eh.
What? Retro, if you'd like to join and explain, I think you may have had a typo.
Mid sticks.
I'm trying to, well, I mean, obviously it's a typo, but I'm trying to figure out what would it, they completely ruin lives. Men, I don't know what the hell word you were
No,
trying to
but
say, Retro.
I and E aren't even like close on the
So
keyboard.
that's where I would say my bias is. If it's for short-term sexual fun, Essex is my weak spot without question. Like
You,
if I'm out on the pull, the Essex accent is yeah, it's definitely
well,
a weakness.
everyone in this live disagreed with you, so
Everyone in this live I think is terrified of you.
no, I'm so
I may have to play accents when you're not around and see what people say. Who would be
don't
the best
even.
who would be the best accent supplement or substitute for you that's a famous person and or someone I could easily find on YouTube?
What, like a famous person that talks like me?
Yeah, so that I can play the Chloe. Hey Marley. So I could play the Chloe voice and then I can play your voice.
I don't know what celebrity talks like me. I don't think like there is many.
Well, there's many who would have the posh accent. So, for example, um,
Emma
who
Watson isn't far
was
off. She's quite posh.
no, Emma Watson has the epitome of the unsexy English posh accent.
Oh my God.
She just sounds like she literally has a stick up her arse.
You,
So she sounds posh and removed, whereas your accent is the girl from
Devil Wears
yeah,
Prada,
no,
Emily
I know
Blunt.
yeah, it's not I don't think it's Emily I wouldn't have said Emily Blunt. I was actually gonna say Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley's not in Devil Wears Prada.
I know. That's why I'm saying
Oh,
I'm disagreeing.
I'm
I
with
would have
you.
said Keira Knightley. I mean, Emily Blunt's not a bad one, but Emily Blunt, I don't think has like a London Surrey accent.
No.
Yeah, she has like neutered her accent, so it sound when you take an English accent and you sort of neuter it, it's going to sound more posh. Who the
Oh,
hell's Rose Leslie?
Leviosa, not Leviosa. That's funny.
I never heard of that. So yeah, I would say that it's Keira Knightley, and all I would say is I don't know why it's offensive for me to say that my preference would be is that if I'm having a one night shag, it would be Essex all the way. If I'm marrying someone, it would be posh British accent all the way.
I think like
I will not date an Irish woman. I'm just not doing that ever
you're
again.
entitled to your preference, obviously, but the the comment about my accent sound like it was North Essex was was just below the belt.
Knife through the heart.
Like my heart shattered. I was like, how could you? How could you? And then
Again,
even
I
the
didn't say
poll,
that. Kindheart did. Remember?
but you supported it.
No, no, no. I laughed at it. Those are two very different things. I laughed my ass
Mm-hmm.
off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's supporting it.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Irish,
watching
what type
you.
of women do you like? Marley, in what way? Personality, in terms of accent, or in terms of looks?
He likes Essex women.
I mean, Chloe, I don't know. I go between like, I love very strong, independent, assertive women, but then I also like really goofy, can't shut up and stop putting their foot in their mouth, goofball women. Like, I really don't have a type.
That's
I
fair enough,
really
though.
have dated so many different types. Wait, all three. Marley, I'm not having this conversation unless you join and also share.
We'll
Charlie,
just all sit
Charlize
in a circle
Theron
and say our types.
Charlize Theron is on my list of 50 women that if I ever got married, I would unalive my partner in order to be able to marry one of those 50 women. And Charlize Theron is one of those people.
Oh, Irish, I just thought of a celebrity.
Who what? Sounds like your accent?
Yes, because she grew up basically in the same place as I did. Her name is Lily James. She was Cinderella in the live action of Disney, and she was
That name is
also
familiar.
young Donna. If you look her up, you'll know her face.
Got
I
it.
don't know if you've seen Mamma Mia too, but she's young Donna in that. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's her.
Wait, who?
She's you know in Mamma Mia too.
Yeah.
She's Donna. She's the young Donna who the whole movie is like centered about.
Wait, I thought Donna was Meryl Streep's character.
Yeah, but in the second one, they do like a
Yeah.
flashback to Donna's life and she got pregnant with
Oh, I
Sophie,
remember that flashback. I gotta
and Lily
rewatch that,
James
yeah.
is her. She grew up
I don't know
basically in the same
why I
area as me.
liked I don't know why I liked Mamma Mia 2 so much, but I really did like those movies.
They were really good. You know, a
They
new
were
one's coming out.
banging. Oh, I don't know if I agree with that.
What?
Not to derail this entire conversation, but did you see my message in Gen Chat from yesterday
No.
night?
What's up?
I
I'm
was
still in
being
purgatory.
I was being Conti. I was being Conti.
We'll get you in, Molly. You're being cunty towards who?
No, no, Conti.
Kantian? As in ethics?
Conti in ethics, like Conti in
Oh,
deontology. I
okay.
thought it would be
So how
funny
so?
to call it Conti. Like I was being Conti.
Wait, which Kanti?
Like Kantian deontology.
I'm completely
Emmanuel
lost.
Kant. Okay, okay. How so?
Oh, I was saying, if you want to have a Philbro debate, like with
No.
actual Philbros at any point, you could frame belief victims until given a reason not to as a categorical imperative of deontological ethics
You
and
think I
have
want to
that
welcome Phil
conversation.
Bros in? No, Marley would jump on that. I would not do that. I would
I
feel
would not
guilty.
jump on a Philbro Irish. Do not do me.
Not schmexually, although have heard
Oh
rumors.
my God.
No, I mean from a debate standpoint, Marley.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I can debate Philbros a little bit. I don't like to though because it's really annoying. Because I just feel like I already know what they're gonna say. So I'm just like, all
It
right.
gets very repetitive and
Yeah.
predictable.
But it would be an
So,
actual philosophical conversation. I don't know if they would be able to do it. Because, like, if you use the categorical imperative and use an axiomatic test of logic, it would pass. IMO.
I'm already bored. No. Marley, when you say what type of woman, can you be more specific?
Oh yeah. Also, good morning.
Good
Um,
morning.
yeah, I was like, well, because you said you're like, I'll never date an Irish woman again or
I
something.
can't.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I was like, what
we
kind of
talked about it earlier how they first of all dating in Ireland is very weird because everyone has to be drunk and like it just weirds me out. I don't they're not very and they don't really have healthy
Thank you, Richie.
relationships with sex in my opinion.
oh,
Like it's very
Irish woman.
Americans Americans for better or worse, they do as much as there's lots of women who would say they have an unhealthy view of their bodies and sex. There's so many more women in America in my opinion that have a healthy perspective on sex and a
And the
healthy
UK.
body. Yeah, and maybe in the UK as well.
And the
In
UK.
Ireland, I think a lot of people have shame of their bodies and or
oh,
they don't I don't know, sex is not it's just not fun. It's not considered the same, I don't think. It's not explorative. It's not. a fun activity per se. It's more so like a thing you do with your guy or something. It's just weird. I don't like it at all.
That's crazy. That sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
and also like Irish women. Please don't come for me. Is there any Irish women in here? Meggie, I'm not talking to you. Is Meggie here? Someone check see if Meggie's here. 'Cause she'll fucking cut my balls off.
You're coming to the live.
Because the truth about Irish women, like I credit Irish women for whatever it is women on TikTok seem okay with me. It's because of Irish women. Irish women are incredibly strong, incredibly opinionated, incredibly assertive, and all of those are great things for learning a very positive view on women and not infantilizing women. However, they also have very guttural accents, and it just sounds like they're always shouting at you. And I can't do that. I just can't. Like, it's the same reason I'm not inclined to date Germans ever again. Like, it feels like you're being shouted at and attacked and disciplined the entire time, even if they're saying nice things. But like an Irish woman would never say nice things to an Irish man, so that would never happen anyway. So, yeah, I could never date an Irish woman.
Huh.
There's only like a
Interesting.
few ethnicities I would rule out. It's Irish women. It is German women purely because of the accent. Israeli women straight out of the army, but like
Wait,
that's
German
now I'm
women have
aged
nice
out of.
accents. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's not about nice. It's about personal preference, right? There's some people who hear my accent and don't like it whatsoever. So it's more so to
I
me
find
it
that hard
sounds
to
very
believe.
assertive. This definitely happens.
Did
I
you
don't
say
I
it
know.
sounds
love
very
your accent.
Eastern?
Eastern? I didn't
What?
say the word Eastern. What did you hear?
You said it sounds very what?
Guttural. So there's certain accents that are very, very sort of
See,
have
I can
guttural is the only
see
word I can
that
think
for
of it.
people that only speak German, maybe, but like all the German women I've ever met don't really have like the stereotypical.
Yeah, have sex with them. And all of a sudden, like I'm not kidding. Like I've talked about the fact that it felt like, if I said it out loud, it sounds so problematic. It just felt like I was being fucked by a police officer. Like it just felt
Oh,
very directive
Wait,
and
why is that
very,
kind of hot
you
though?
will fuck me.
Oh
Like it
shit!
just
Wait,
felt
no, that's not
very
hot.
aggressive. It was not. It was not.
No.
It just felt, I don't know, man. It was not a great feeling. And I've only ever had sex with a couple of German women, but it was the same each time. And it
Irish, I feel like you've just
traumatized
gone on
me.
this like worldwide tour.
Well, I've just done a lot of travel, to be
Damn, she called
fair.
you ran through.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not that. It really is. I've just traveled a lot. Because, like, I've never had sex with, there's lots of countries I've never had sex with.
I like that. I like that flip on that. Next time someone says you ran through, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm just well traveled. Like,
Yeah.
I need to do more of that in the UK now. Contest my theory.
I don't think I could ever date a Russian guy ever again. My first
Oh,
boyfriend,
see, that's a fair one. I've heard a lot of
Yeah, that's fair.
complaints. Yeah.
yeah, because like I feel like party wise, like they're really crazy, like they're fucking partiers, and I feel like it's a little like we think like Americans, like we think we party, like no, like they're fucking crazy.
Can someone explain to me why people seem to get really upset and claim ethnophobia when you're talking about cultural norms that are present among people from different countries that are not attractive? I don't
Can you
understand
give
why
an
that's
example?
problematic. Yeah, if people say that Irish people drink too much, yeah, we're the number two in Europe. Like that's just a true thing. And we don't tend to go out for one or two drinks. We go out and we get sloshed. We don't drink for pleasure. We drink as a function of trying to forget our problems. Like there's certain cultural stereotypes that are more commonly true of certain groups. And I don't know why that became problematic to talk about because if we talk about grape culture, for example, there's no question grape culture varies from country to country. Not that it goes away, but the prevalence and form of it varies. And that variation, why is it problematic to say that you're more comfortable with how one culture ordinarily will present itself versus other cultures? I really don't understand that.
I don't know.
Like, if someone has an answer to it, like, I remember that someone tried to cancel me over the fact that I said that I've been to certain countries where the safety issues for women were terrifying. And that I would genuinely say that they felt unsafe for women based upon my experience seeing what happened and also traveling with women in those countries. And someone was like, how can you say that about that country? And it's like, have you been to that country? Like, do you understand the differences that I'm talking about here? I don't know where that became, I don't know,
I
a
don't know.
focus on people to protect. It just seems really weird to me. I don't understand it at all.
I think some people are just like hypersensitive to it. Like, and I get it. Like, you don't want to ever like paint a certain group of people in a negative way if you don't have to. But I think also when you're having like a realistic conversation about things that are either problems or things that just are true, like people are gonna have to kind of get over it. Oh my God, my
Yeah.
dog's snoring.
I mean, there's a wide difference between saying if you're from there, you must be, versus if you're from there, you are susceptible to certain socializations and normalizations
That's
that
true.
I am worried about. That's a huge fucking difference. And I don't know if someone said, hey, he's from Ireland, so I'd be concerned about how he engages with alcohol. I wouldn't really get upset about that. But whenever someone says, oh, you're from Ireland, you must drink, that's annoying. So I don't know. I find it a little bit silly. So as for the type of women like Marley, I never know how to say it because like I've been with such a variety and dated such a variety that like I can't say I have set preferences. So like the one thing from a physical standpoint that I thought straight away, I do love women who have thick hair, but that doesn't mean I haven't dated women who've got thin hair. And so like I don't know how to, like one of my longer term relationships was with someone who had thin hair. I would also say that I tend to focus on women who are curvy, but then I think of one of my, hottest physical sexual encounters with someone, and they were very much 1980s model thin chic. And so I don't really know how to ever describe what my type is because it implies that it's like one certain thing. Whereas like
Right,
women are
right.
just so fucking beautiful that like really we're happy to have anyone. So it's sort of hard to say. I would say that I do generally tend towards curvy because I'm a very tactile person. So I like to, I physical contact with my
You
partners a
like to
lot.
touch.
Yeah, I'm
You
a
want
toucher.
to tap?
There's no way of me saying that without someone clipping that. But yeah, I'm a caresser. I'm someone who likes
Please,
to
someone
touch my
tell me they got
partner.
that on video.
And when I've been with my partner, like I was with my partner, my last partner for like years and years and years, and I'm still that person who's on the couch who will be like rubbing their shoulders or touching their body or physically interacting with them. Like I like that a lot. Like to me, that's I don't know, means a lot to me. So I feel like curves is usually something I am attracted to. Women with thick hair, I think, is maybe something that I find typical. Women who have really beautiful full lips tends to be pretty common. And other than that, everything else is like I wouldn't say there's been any real commonalities. I would say that like my friends have a perspective of what my type is, and like maybe that's meaningful. But I think they're more so identifying my weaknesses.
Huh.
Oh God, not this
Gotcha.
again.
Well, there's a difference. So like again, it's not like my preference is a redhead, but if you're a redhead, I'm more likely to ignore things about you that I would otherwise find unattractive.
Oh
So like to me, I
no.
just describe that as a weakness. So like my friends would describe my weakness as Christina Hendricks. They would say a curvy, buxom redhead would be my weakness. Whereas I would say those are sort of like things that would make me, yeah, exactly, Candace, would be more so things that make me ignore red flags. They're more so things that get me in trouble as opposed to things that I'm necessarily more attracted to.
Gotcha. I definitely have a personality type more than I have a physical type.
I would hard agree with that. What is
Yeah.
your personality type?
I definitely like very smart, very funny, like creative men. Like I don't know. I like a really smart guy, but I also like a sense of humor kills me. Like it just I'm like
Do you
that's
like, are you attracted to women?
yes.
I should
Um,
feed you all of my exes because those are like the those I would say that those are my key criteria. I need someone who's smart. I need someone who's wicked funny. And when I say funny, I don't. It would be nice to be with someone who laughed at my jokes occasionally, but most of my partners are usually ripping me up.
yeah,
I
And
think it's
then creative.
really attractive when someone's confident in themselves, if that makes sense. Like with their
yeah,
personality. I'm not talking about like insecurities, but like they know what they want and they're not afraid to say it. I feel like that's really
yeah,
hot, you know?
yeah. Like someone who's like forward, like
Yeah,
respectful but forward. Yeah, like I
yeah,
definitely I prefer like I don't like hard to get personally at all. Like I'm not I feel like I'm like,
yeah.
oh, you just fucking
I
hate me.
agree. It's just too much work. Like I just can't. I'm just not. I just get bored. I would much rather someone who was just straight up and be like, "Want to do this?" Or "Let's
Yeah.
do this." Like it's just more attractive to
I
me.
like yeah, I like guys that are obsessed with me. Like
Oh my
please.
God, yeah,
But
that's
that's because
hot.
I'm like, no, but that's because I'm like that. Like when I like someone, I'm like, I go all out. So I like someone who like matches that energy. So like, please
Yeah,
be obsessed with me.
I
But
feel
I'm
like if
then
very
we can be on the
likely
same level,
not
then it works.
to be receptive if they like me. Hardly at all.
really?
I can't think of an ex. After we break up, they're always like, "Oh, I really like you" and shit. But in the relationship, no, none of my exes have ever acted like they like me in the
Really?
Oh my
relationship.
God.
Yeah, I
No,
I think you
usually
need to
prefer women who
change.
have contempt towards me. That's usually my preference.
no, I'm like a little love in relationships. Like I'm such a lover girl. It's so bad. Um, but then with women, I definitely lean like I like more masculine women personally.
Masculine in which sense, though?
Like physically masculine.
Physical masculine, got it.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much of a physical type. Like they're just so different, you know? Sometimes it's one thing and then the other day it's like the complete opposite of that, you know? I just feel like if you're hot, then yeah, let's have fun, Whatever.
I tend to find that from a personality standpoint, I tend to have more of one type that I date versus one type that I go on a couple of dates with. In the sense that the type of woman I normally date tends to be very sure of themselves, very confident in their beliefs, very almost always extremely funny, extremely smart, grounded, I would say. But then the women who I probably have more fun on dating short term, flirty. I've never really dated long term women who are flirty, whereas I love having short term relationships with women who are flirty. And for flirty, the intelligence, it's not even a factor of it, frankly. It's more so the witty banter going back and forth. That tends to be someone who I love to get into short-term relationships with,
It's
but
just
not
more
long-term.
exciting that way.
I don't know why I've never been able to fold in the flirty personality into a long-term relationship. I really wish I was able to navigate that. That would have
I
been
think
fun.
because after a while I don't know, maybe because it's like the same and then it's like it's not, you don't get that variety, maybe. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Maybe. When people have asked me though, what my type is, I will always remember I'm such a fucking idiot. I
Oh
remember
no.
talking to my last long-term ex, and she asked me what was I thinking. We were watching a ballet or something that was like more modern, high-class performance art. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think ballet. And I was somewhat bored, and I don't remember if I was fiddling with my phone or fiddling with my hands, but like she leaned over and asked, "What are you thinking about?" And I really, my biggest problem is I just don't have a filter, which is like a good reason why I just wouldn't cheat on a partner because I don't have the ability to like not say it out loud.
Stop.
So I thought it was a brilliant idea to tell her that as I was sitting there bored, and to be clear, like we weren't there for her. I think she was kind of bored as well. I was thinking in my head, you know what I was thinking? I would love to go back and get a photograph of every woman I've ever slept with and then just lay them all out in a row to see the type of women I've had sex with, and I was
Oh
saying
my
this to my partner,
God.
and I do feel bad for my
Irish.
partners. I do. I feel bad for my partners, but like, I'm honest.
You
I'm very, very
can't.
honest.
Oh my
And I know that
god.
there's meant to be inside thoughts, and I have tried to learn that, but like, I really, like, I don't know. I just feel like that's unhealthy.
Was
And so
this
I
the
said that
reason
out
it didn't
loud to
last
her,
very long?
and, the look of contempt that she would give me for that. But it is something I've really wanted to do. Like, I am very curious, like, what are the matching points, or what has been more dominant, or what has been more prevalent? Like, I am kind of curious.
Rusty, there
But I
are
don't know,
such a
why
thing
would
as
that be
inside
offensive to her?
thoughts.
But why is that offensive to her? I'm with
Because
her.
I think no woman when we're on a date with you, right, or hanging out
No,
with
no,
you
we were
wants
we were together for years at that point.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
but
what I mean. Like when we're spending
still.
Yeah.
time with you, we don't want to think about you thinking about every woman you've ever slept with.
Oh,
Yeah, like
that's a good point.
it's supposed to
Yeah,
be thinking
bro.
about like me,
I didn't think about
not
the fact
everyone
that they were
else.
on a date. Yeah, that's fair. That's valid. Okay, that's valid.
Okay, so maybe next
I still
time keep
remember it was
the
like a
inside
balcony
thoughts
seat and
inside.
everything. Yeah, no, no, that's
Yeah, like
valid.
we're having a nice time, and I'm like, oh, what are you thinking about? And you're
It
like, you
was
start
not.
the
It was
sentence.
boring though. I was trying to preoccupy my mind because I was bored so silly.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but
have
you're with
so many other
me.
things to think about.
Yeah, that's valid.
If a
Yeah,
guy's
I should
with
have.
me and he's thinking about every girl he's ever slept with, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll just leave you to that.
Well, I want to be
He's not going to
clear.
be my boyfriend anymore, I'll tell you
I
that
was
now.
not thinking about them. I was more so thinking, wouldn't that be an interesting exercise? It wasn't that I was going through them in my head. I was more so, I wonder what the result of that would be.
Red flag.
Yeah, you would have had to like explain that very quickly because I would have been like getting up and been like, all right, well, this is over. We're gonna just, I'm gonna go
I think
home.
most women who date me kind of know that I'm a little disappointing in regard to what I say, and they do not react immediately. They usually work me through it so I can get to where I'm coming from, if that makes sense.
Gotcha,
Maybe
gotcha.
just never ask what you're thinking.
Oh, the number of times I've asked them not to do that. Oh, that's my norm. I normally
Because it
ask, like,
wouldn't be
don't
the
inquire about
answer
what I'm
that they
thinking about.
want.
But then they ask, and I'm like, I don't want to lie. Like, I just feel like it's so unhealthy to lie.
So then you say that.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
look,
you
I can't
can't.
feel bad about it when they do it to themselves. So, for example, when she says, "Do you find my friend attractive?"
Oh
I'm like,
God.
why would you ask me that question? Like, I don't want to
Oh,
get with your friend, but if you're
don't
going to
tell me you
ask
said
me, do I
yes,
think
though.
they're attractive? I don't like to lie.
Irish!
I think it's very
Wait,
harmful to lie.
you also
Do you know
can't
what? It's also really
you can't
harmful.
ask a question and then get mad at the answer though. I will say that. Like if you
Have
ask,
you
like,
met women? Are you joking right now?
no, I know, but
I
I'm
feel like
saying like
women purposely ask questions they know they're going to get angry about.
Yeah, but
How many times has
well,
Molly been saying, tell me my accent's the best accent? She knows my answer. She just wants me to change it.
no, your accent was really vague and really like, oh, well, it depends on the situation, like if it's short term or long term, which I mean, fair enough. But then I feel like you were backtracking. And then I was like, I don't feel like my accent is getting the love and support that it currently needs. And then we did a poll and I won, and then I felt better.
Max, I'm
Mac, this is why I'm staying celibate. I got to admit, like, I'm not, I feel like I'm past my prime now, from an age standpoint, that I'm no longer cute and adorable by saying this shit. Now I think it's just like, it's stubborn old man or weird old man shit. And so I don't think I can date now. I feel like I've aged out of this being adorably cute at this point, unfortunately,
you just have to
or
find
adorably
someone who
tolerable.
like is okay with
Exactly.
it.
Find someone who what now?
Who's like okay with it. You have to find someone who still finds it endearing. That's all.
Marley, do you know any women who, when you're at a ballet and you've got like one of these balcony seats, their long-term boyfriend turns to them, and when they say, "What are you thinking about, sweetheart?" I was thinking about categorizing all the women I've physically been with in order to line them up in order to see what similarities there are. Like, do you know any woman? Because I'm available.
I can't
Irish,
say I
No,
do.
I don't think
I
it's going
know
to
I'm a
work
fucking
out with
handful and
all.
not a good way.
But we're all handfuls. Like that's the thing. Like we're all handfuls in different ways. Like
See,
Everyone's like
that I agree with.
everyone's like a
My
fucking
most
weirdo.
annoying thing is I say stupid shit, but like otherwise, I'm really quite lovely to date. But like I do say the wrong thing all the time. But I do say the wrong thing all the fucking time.
Yeah, that might be a little bit of an issue.
I'm
Well,
just
it's
really
just
oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead.
No, you go first.
And I was just gonna say, like, I value transparency. And the
Yeah.
truth is, like, I do think I realize that not being fully transparent is actually probably more healthy for a relationship, but I really struggle with that.
I feel like I like transparency, but I feel like it's definitely like a little bit masochistic. Like sometimes, like I am the kind
Yeah.
of person who will ask my boyfriend not to be upset though, because I know I've definitely asked my boyfriend stuff like this. Like I've definitely asked him, like, oh, like, do you think she's attractive? Because, but sometimes I'm looking at a girl and I'm like, huh, like I'm just looking at her and I can't decide myself if I think she's attractive. So then I'll ask him, and I don't usually get mad at stuff like that. But like I guess like hit me at the right moment and I will be like a little sour. I'm more just dramatic though. Like I'm just like a dramatic, like I'm emotional.
I dig that in a relationship. Drama's always fun in a relationship. It
No,
can
it's
get boring
not.
without the drama. Drama's different than fighting. I'm okay with drama. I'm an expert at drama. But fighting and malice, I'm not very good at.
I wouldn't say I have malice, but I'm definitely dramatic. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
I
don't think
feel
there's
like
anything
it's
wrong with that.
healthy having a bit of drama.
Yeah, I agree. I do think, look, I think the most common complaint that women who've dated me have said,
Do you
I'm
really
not
want to
very,
say this?
well, I mean, the most common thing is,
Or
oh, it's fucking exhausting. Like, that's the most common thing that if I was to ask my exes, that would be probably the most common refrain that would be said, is that it's a lot of work. And they don't mean in the sense of like making me responsible or showing that I care about them or showing that I love them. It's more so having to deal with my mind. And I don't blame them. Like, I'm exhausted by my mind. It's fucking exhausting. I don't like it at all.
yeah, but also it's nice to be kept on your toes. So I don't know.
I don't
I
know if
think
that's
one
what I
thing,
do.
like negative thing that I've heard consistently throughout relationships is that I'm really frustrating to fight with.
Oh, you strike me as someone who just wants to win. Like you know the stereotype of a woman who wants to fight even when they're wrong. I've not really encountered that a lot. But there's no fucking way I think you would admit you're wrong when you're in the middle of a fight. Like none whatsoever.
No, I think what's like really no, I do admit I'm wrong all the time. I love admitting I'm
In
wrong.
the fight?
Yeah, 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 because I feel it just makes me better than you now. Like I just feel like now I'm
Oh, see,
like
that's
Yeah,
that's
I
so
can admit I'm
fucking
wrong
you. Like,
sometimes as well.
but you would use it as a weapon, not humility. That's my point. Is that that's why I could tell I would not want to fight with you.
no, if I will say I've had at least three partners be like I've never gotten this angry while fighting with someone ever in my whole life, and I'm like, oh shit, sorry.
I could see that. Like, do
I
you view fighting as a way of getting to shared mutual understanding, or a way to get out your anger and one up your partner? Like
Um,
as a competitive sport. Let me rephrase it as that.
no, it's not a competitive sport. It definitely like fighting for me is like me sort of like standing my ground though. Like it's more so like I think my pet peeve is like I hate not feeling heard. Like I hate it. Like I hate when I'm talking to someone and I feel like they're either purposely like kind of being obtuse almost because they don't want to admit they're wrong, or like we've like gone over something and they're like almost being like willfully ignorant. Like I don't like that. And so I get into these like moods where I almost get like bloodthirsty and I'm like, I will not like back down. Like I don't know when to walk away from a fight for sure. But it's also, but it's out of like self-preservation. It's out of like, this is like a consistent issue that we have. And I've like done all the healthy stuff to talk about it and communicate and bring it up to you. And like a lot of time has passed and we're not getting there. So now it's like we're either gonna like now I'm frustrated basically. So it's like now I'm not gonna be healthy anymore. I feel like I get into that mindset and then it's like game over. because I don't
That's
fight a lot. I
strange.
don't fight. Yeah, I don't fight. I don't fight a lot. I don't fight like frequently, but when I do fight, it's not good.
Are you good at making sure that you've already laid the groundwork in advance so that when you finally do flip, that it's justified?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm definitely the kind of
Okay.
person who will approach you very gently many times before I get into
Do you
that.
think
Like,
you're a good communicator? Like you're not someone who's like subtle with regard to your needs.
no, no, no. I'm a good communicator. I definitely like say what I want, what I like, and if something's wrong, like I'm definitely like I'm not the kind of like I'm the opposite of the stereotype of the girl who's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" and she's like, "I'm fine," but like she's not fine. Like I'm the opposite of that.
I can't fucking stand that woman, yeah.
I will
That's why I
never ever
normally date. I can't
pretend.
stand it.
Yeah, I can't pretend I'm not upset about something.
Yeah, I think the woman who I normally date, like the big flaw that I've noticed, it's that they don't seem to actually know what they want to say. Like it seems to be less that they're hiding it as much as, or unless I'm being gaslit or something. I just feel like one of the biggest issues I've had is poor communication and inability to identify their own needs and request them. So, like, I had a partner who needed an abundance of affection and validation, but she could never say that. She could never say, I need validation. I need you to repeatedly say, you love me, because those words of affection really mean a lot to me. She wouldn't be able to explain it in those ways. And instead, it would be more like you would get punished if you didn't provide that. And then when you would try to, bring it up to them, hey, do you need me to do this because it makes you feel better? It would be denial on their side. So it's like a lack of self awareness to some degree is the problem I've noticed.
I
Yeah.
also feel like it's hard to ask for stuff. Like people get embarrassed. Like I think when people get upset about something or get hurt or they're feeling like something's lacking and they're like kind of need that, like if they need validation, it's really hard to look at your partner and be like, oh, I need validation. Because like, I don't know, I think it's like embarrassing. So I think like people have a hard time communicating because it's like they don't feel comfortable.
I'll say this, I would not have understood that except for there was a point when I was in a relationship where I felt as though we weren't connecting as much. And this was one of the very few times where I'd taken like a sexual break, or we had taken a sexual break. And at one point, I remember asking her to, when we were in bed, was to put her hand on my shoulder and or like play with my shoulder to some degree because I was looking for physical affection. And I explained it exactly like that. And the response was, I'm not fucking kidding you. That sounds like a you problem.
Oh God.
I,
Gosh.
I gotta say, like, my heart sunk when you talk about the embarrassment. When you do open yourself up and make yourself vulnerable to a partner and express your need, I never contemplated the idea of someone slapping that shit down. And so I do understand why it would be difficult for people who, especially, I'd imagine maybe it's more likely for men to shut it down. So I could imagine why women would be less willing to share that. But like I guess as an empath, like I don't really understand what the concern would be. Like I'm a bitch when it comes to that stuff. If you tell me what it is you want, I don't want to do it. I just have to do it because it's like built into me.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I have the same kind of feeling. Like if I can do something that makes them more comfortable and more, I don't know, trusting in me and happy, then like I'll just do it. Like,
Sorry, I agree with that generally, except for Candace's one. I'm never touching a woman's toes.
yeah, oh no, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I
I
don't.
I,
Even
I
if
think
they're
I was
clean?
forced. I think I was forced to when I was a young kid. My mother would have me rub her feet, and so for
Oh,
me,
that's
feet are the
so.
Ew.
most unattractive thing in the world. So yeah, I don't think I've touched a woman's feet, and I don't think I've looked at a woman's foot. I think I rarely look at a woman's foot and don't have some sense of revulsion. Sorry, it's like a trauma.
Oh
It's
Like I
really
God.
don't.
disgusting.
It's not my cup of tea. Sorry, Candace. I'm so glad you have a guy who will touch your, but not my cup of tea.
Yeah, far away from that.
I'm just
Gotta
like
love
indifferent
all.
to feet. I don't care. I'm like, they don't, as long as they're clean, they don't bother me, but I'm not like, yeah, feet. Like,
I gotta admit that tiny little pinky thing freaks. The tiny little baby toe shit freaks me out. Like the baby toe that doesn't exist. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
mine is
don't
so
I don't mean to
weird. I
be
know what you
mean.
mean.
Yeah, I just want to cut it off. Like it's just abnormal. Like it's fucking creepy looking. Like it
Like
just
all
looks
of
like
my
it's one of those organs that like or parts of the body that like lost
Organs.
sorry, part of the body that lost blood flow and should
Organs.
be cut off because it's dead. Like it never looks like part of your real body.
ew, yeah. All of my toes look normal, but that one's like really round for some reason.
Wait, your pinky toe?
Yeah.
It's what
Round?
is round? Yeah, what the fuck does round
Are you
mean?
saying that you have like a circular like baby toe and then
No,
the
it's
rest of
not.
your
It's
foot's like normal?
Someone go to
You've
her
got this
videos
big
right
ass
now and
circle.
quickly investigate this round baby toe.
no, it's
What
not
does
like round.
round
It's not like
Does
mean?
it like
it's not
stick out in shoes?
it's not like circular, but like all of my toes are pretty straight. Like all of my toes are
Uh-huh.
like like I don't have like the middle one longer than the big one or anything like that. Like they're all in order. And then for some reason, this one's just like a different shape from the rest of them. And
I
Oh, you mean it's a bump?
it's like it looks like a fucking gnome. Like it's just,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
so
yeah. The baby
weird.
toes always look really weird. Yeah, I wouldn't have used the word
yeah,
round.
but
I
not
feel like
like
go ahead.
But
circular.
it is round.
Ra- or let me ask you this. Am I right in saying that your baby toe has barely a nail?
Um, no, it has a nail.
Does it have a nail comparison comparative to the nail beside it?
I was gonna say it's definitely smaller than the one beside it, but it's not te like I've seen people who like really don't have pinky toenails. It has a nail, but it's
So
definitely
once
smaller.
so those people need to cut the toe off. Once your nail becomes almost decorative for your baby toe, that's when you start like getting to the land of like amputation. Like it just freaks me the fuck out.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Anxiously, Aaron. Respectfully, if you can't paint your baby toe, it needs to go.
What?
It's just weird looking. Like it's not a toe. If you don't have a toenail, it's no
Yeah, but
longer a toe.
I'm not gonna have 5 fingers on each hand and then like 4 toes on each foot. Like it doesn't even like make
But it
sense.
would be four normal toes as opposed to four normal toes and a freak.
Yeah, but it's gonna throw my gravity off. And like how I walk. Can you imagine?
Given how tiny that little baby toe is, I'm not sure it's serving a function
Yeah,
anymore.
but
I genuinely think we're in a whatever it is we used to do 200,000 years ago. I genuinely think we're in the moment of an evolutionary change that nobody's talking about, where that baby toe is eventually going to disappear. That's what I
I
feel like 100,000 years
You
from
need it
now,
for
there'll be no
balance.
baby toe.
Irish I'm scared.
Your baby toe, I don't know how much your baby toe plays in balancing you.
Imagine
Well,
if you were
probably
standing and
a
you
fair
didn't have
bit.
like the support of your baby toe. Like it would not be good.
Your whole the way that you hold your like your weight and the way you stand, like it it just wouldn't work because you'd just be like lopsided. Like it just wouldn't work.
Yuma, don't be such an asshole. This conversation, I'm going back to sleep.
Did you guys?
I don't know. I'm
Irish, you
anti-feet.
haven't slept in so long. Are you
I don't
feeling
really sleep a
okay?
lot. I will say that this is why, like, I'm not usually a person who shames people for your schmexual fetishes and stuff, but this is why I think I have such a bias against people who like feet, is because I'm so anti-feet that I just think you have to be a weirdo if you're into feet. I
That's
understand a lot
valid
of people
though.
make bank on it. I totally understand that, but what the hell is there to like about feet? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I think psychologically, I read something about it once because I was so curious because there's so many foot lovers, like especially back when I had an OF, there were so many guys that were like, "Shut me your feet." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, don't you want to see like boobs or something?" But
Yeah.
No, they
I
want
like
to
read
see.
that like I read that like the curve of your foot mimics the curve of like a woman's back. That like I guess because when you're like pregnant, your back curves more.
Hmm.
And that's like that curve, like instinctually, men are more attracted to it because it means you're like better, like I guess your body's like better built for bearing kids. So like that's like there's like wires crossed where like they're just attracted to feet because of that. I don't know.
That sounds like somebody that was trying really, really,
I
really,
Hard to
really
agree.
justify.
hard.
I agree. And also, I'm not. Thank you. I love how Brussels is like not paying attention and weighs in with that one. I do think that I'm not as sure because I've not looked at the numbers on it, But I wonder when you said there's so many people who are into feet, I would imagine it could be biased by the fact that people who are into feet are more likely to want to engage with an individual and pay for them directly. And so they may look like a larger percentage of the population because, like, none of my guy friends are into feet. And yet I hear my friends who do schmex work are constantly being propositioned by feet people.
Well, I mean, like maybe they are into feet and they just don't talk about it because I feel like foot fetishes are like everyone thinks they're weird.
Yeah, they're pretty taboo.
That is fair. I do often mock. Huh. So I may have a
Just
weirdo
realized
friend who are
this
into
now.
feet.
Yeah, you might have friends that are like really, really into
Oh, I
feet.
bet it's Sean. I fucking bet it's Sean now that I think about it.
Oh my God.
For
Because he
sure.
loves going to the beach. And like I can't understand because he doesn't go into the water. But now that I'm thinking about it, there's a ton of people who wear sandals at the beach. That could make sense to me now.
Oh God.
Poor guy.
He also loves going to the park, and I think people take their shoes off in parks as
Who
well.
takes their shoes off in a park?
Yeah, what?
Oh,
What
Central
park?
Park?
No
Oh,
one
I
does
definitely do
that.
that.
Central,
When you
who
go
is walking
picnic.
around Central Park barefoot?
No, when you go picnic and stuff.
Central Park? You take your shoes off and go barefoot in Central Park for a picnic?
Like, you take your
Yeah,
shoes off
thousand
for a picnic,
percent.
full stop? Like, what?
Yeah, because you're going to put your feet up on the.
Oh,
Oh,
Sorry, because you're going to put your feet up on the blanket.
what?
I usually
Why
like,
you put your feet off the blanket?
yeah, I usually like sit on the blanket with my feet off.
Yeah.
It's Central Park. There's needles everywhere. Like I put blankets everywhere. Like there's multiple blankets.
Or that's what I mean. There's needles everywhere. How are you walking around barefoot?
Central
It's a
Park
pro
picnics are
con
a bit
thing. I
meh.
understand where the complicated is.
I would so much rather have like my tush on the blanket with my feet in shoes off than just be like barefoot.
Oh yeah, don't go for a picnic in a park in the UK. Just don't do it to yourself.
Oh God.
It's not gonna end well. It's either gonna like absolutely chuck it down, or you're gonna step in like dog feces or something.
No, I go like if I'm gonna do a picnic, I either go out to Long Island or I go upstate. So I feel like those they have like
Yeah.
gorge like Long Island has like gorgeous parks, and so does
I
upstate.
want to see more of the East Coast. I really do.
It's pretty. Like I love New York. Like even though New York is kind of like a little bit in shambles right now, like it's still a great place.
It is a bit
Yeah,
in
I went the
shambles.
other month. It was really nice to be fair. I
Candace
feel
did.
very fortunate to see it.
Candace sent me something that was just too complicated for me to summarize, but what I could take from it was there's apparently the part of your brain that activates when you see feet is right next to the part of the brain that activates with regard to pleasing your genitals or something.
Oh,
And there's a speculation that there's a cross referencing or something that a large part of the population must engage in that there has not been fully figured out yet. That it's not that they're attracted to feet, but that it stimulates something in their brain that's adjacent to something that stimulates their genitals.
huh.
Because from what Candace just pointed out to me, apparently feet, it's science. Thank you, Candace. Apparently, feet are the number one smexualized, non-smexual part of the body. Candace,
Interesting.
when you said that, what other things are sexualized that are not part? Like, I assume you mean genitals, breasts, and maybe lips and eyes are all sexual things? Ears? Who the fuck are ear people?
What the hell? I've never ever
Oh,
heard of someone being
my
a
ex was an ear person.
what? What
Yeah,
does
it
that
was it was
mean?
it was freaky, like really into ears, and it was like so disgusting. Like I remember he would like, so I don't mind like if you're just gonna like bite it, right? But like when you're like shoving your tongue in my ear, like I did not ask for that. I didn't ask for it. Like, no. Like that's almost on the same level as feet. Like having something wet in your ear. Like, no.
Ew.
No. It was so disgusting.
Hands.
And
Wait.
it was
Oh, go ahead.
every single time that we slept together, and that was a lot of times. So I really
Ew.
like keep your tongue away from my ear canal.
That would have really icked me.
It was really icky. I really didn't
So wait,
enjoy
what
it.
other things are there? Ears, which is like
Carolina brought up
fucking
a good point.
yeah.
Hands. I'm definitely a hand person.
Yeah, but hang on. When you say hands, I understand the idea of like holding hands, touching hands and stuff, but you're not talking about like sucking on a finger hands, right?
No, I mean, like I have, like if a guy puts like his finger on my lips, I'll definitely suck on it. But I'm talking more about
Oh,
like
that's a little different, yeah.
I'm talking about like if a guy has like good big masculine hands, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's different than feet. So it's not that men look at women's feet and go, "Oh, I love a woman with a sexy foot." It's that they get sexual pleasure from, do you know what I mean? Like it's going a step further than saying I find that attractive and them actually schmexually getting off on it.
Well, like if you think about it with like hands, right? Like if a guy has good hands, like I'm totally thinking about him choking me. Like that's for sure. And then I'm totally thinking about like every because guys like you use your hands to like I guess like pleasure women. So like yeah, it's hot.
Yes, we've been accused of that occasionally. Yeah, but again, I don't think you're fetishizing the like it's not like you're orgasming to the idea of their knuckles. Do you know what I mean? Like whereas like a man would look at a woman's foot and be able to orgasm based upon imagining himself touching it.
Huh.
Whereas like you're more interested in what a man's hand can do as opposed
Yeah,
to the hand itself, if that makes sense.
that makes sense. Yeah. I'm not like the hand's not like a sex symbol, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think there's some men now that Molly said it, I think there are some men who look at a woman's ears and get schmexually
Oh,
excited by the
don't do this
ear
to me,
itself.
Irish. Bad
I
memories.
don't want to. I'm not an ear guy. So like I'm
Bad
not pro
memories.
that.
My
I'm not pro
memory.
that.
My ear.
I'm trying to think, is there anything so Candace, if that's the number one, what are all the other ones?
Some people really like backs.
Just
Facts.
looking at a back and being
Yeah,
sexually
like
excited?
especially lower
The
back.
fuck?
Yeah, have you not heard about this?
No, I mean, this is just wait, you're saying that they would like schmirk off to a person's lower back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
I
guys,
don't,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm just like hooking up with some
Fuck.
very weird people, but
Very likely.
stop. But they like have a thing about lower backs, and I just don't understand.
I know like I've had someone tell me that they liked my lower back because that's where they would picture like I guess like rubbing their hands if they were having intercourse with me.
Yeah, but
So,
I understand someone saying they like your lower back. That's perfectly fine. It's the idea of like
yeah, wait, who said it
of
too?
a
They want
man
to
who
finish
repeatedly says to you every couple of weeks he gets with you, "Oh my God, I'm so turned on by your lower back."
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
thing.
I don't fucking know. The backs of knees? Yeah, I don't understand these people. I
What?
don't get it.
Okay,
No,
that's
I don't get
crazy.
that.
Okay,
No,
that's
I don't get
crazy.
that.
The
Lower back,
fuck?
thighs, I've heard.
Yeah, thighs,
Oh, I heard
That's
eyebrows once, which was actually quite concerning. But
eyebrows,
eyebrows. What?
I know, which like I can get
armpits.
the lower back.
Nah.
I can get
No,
the limb.
Wolfie. Hang on, Wolfie. I did have a woman ask me to make out with her armpits. That was some weird
No, I
shit.
Irish, please tell me you
100%.
didn't do that.
Like literally said, like the words verbatim was, "I want you to treat it like it's my lower area and make out the same way that you would."
Oh,
It
no.
was it was so weird, disturbing,
did you do it?
unexciting.
Did you? Yeah,
Yeah,
did
of
you do
course I
it?
did. There's so
Oh
many
my
things I've done for
Irish?
partners. There's so many things I've done for partners that I've not enjoyed. But
Yeah,
like you
but
might as well give it a
armpits.
go. It was fucking horrible.
Like I'm down for other things, but that is just one step too far.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. The thing that I was most worried about that didn't come true was that I feared that they were going to have like, I guess I was thinking from a man's perspective. I thought they were going to have like a taste of deodorant or something. And that was not the case at all. I don't know what the fuck they used, but I will say that their skin, like, it didn't feel in any way chemical or like there was deodorant. There was no like aftertaste is what I expected whatsoever. But otherwise, it was a very weird, not exciting, asexual. Like, I had to fake it to make it. Like, that was a rough fucking night.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, I mean, the worst night, I've talked about this one, is when I was with a hardcore biter. And I just had to grimace the entire fucking night and pretend I wasn't crying like a bitch. I was in pain. Like, I couldn't, I hated every
Yeah.
goddamn moment I was with that person.
I've had that, and it's like
People like
you're
don't know
just
how to
trying not to cry.
Yeah, there's a
tastefully
difference between a
bite.
nibbler and a biter. Sorry, what's that,
Yeah.
Marley?
No, I was agreeing with you. I was just agreeing with you.
I can't stand, like, I talked about this specific incident where she was not a nibbler and she didn't think, or she didn't seem to have a line between appropriate places and non-appropriate places, so that she was biting everything. And it was just a thoroughly horrible sexual experience.
I don't like like clit nibblers. I think that's fucking weird.
So I've heard of this. Are you saying actual teeth?
Yep.
Yeah, some people do that.
I hate
Why
it.
would that make sense? Why would that make sense? Oh, and just
I
see, Aaron makes sense. Why would that make sense? Oh, and just
I
see, Aaron disagrees. Wow. Okay, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, like some people, like I've literally heard of like, I don't know. I don't like biting. I don't like any teeth. So I've literally heard of like, I don't know. I don't like biting. I don't like any teeth. So like
Yeah.
a lot of people are like nibblers, biters. Like I know someone that told me that her boyfriend would like, he had like a gap in his tooth and would put it between. I know someone that told me that her boyfriend would like, he had like a gap in his tooth and would put it between the gap in his teeth. And that really
yeah,
makes me want to like die.
I just don't
I
know why anyone would.
Makes me want to like die.
I just don't
I
know why anyone would feel safe with that sensation. Like, how would you not freak out immediately? Like,
if you did that to a guy, it would be a completely different.
out immediately. Like,
If you did that to a guy, it would be a completely different thing.
well, I mean, that's what I was alluding to, the biter, and it was horrible. It was horrific. It
Yeah.
was not pleasant at all.
Yeah.
No, biter, and it was horrible. It was horrific. It
Yeah.
was not pleasant at all.
Yeah.
No,
Like nibbling is nice in other places. Like, but it's got to be tasteful. It's got to be like,
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a woman and a man was nibbling on my clit, I would start thinking cannibal. Like, I would genuinely start thinking, does this guy have some really weird? Because I'm trying to think, on what planet does that make sense to you? Unless he's mistaking the clit for your nipple. Like, I'm not really understanding what their possible
Yeah.
logic would be.
How could you mistake that though?
Well, no, what I mean by mistake, like, Jesus Christ, if they're doing that, I don't know how low the boobies are hanging.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's what I
say.
mean by mistake.
What?
I mean mistake the idea that a woman would have a pleasurable sensation from nibbling on
Ugh.
her nipples, that they would think that that would transfer over.
I feel like yeah, it has to be like someone we either read it somewhere, saw it in a video or like something, and they're like, oh
Or they
yeah,
were told it from some like alpha male. You know those alpha males that try to do these podcasts, trying
oh
to
yeah, where they give
promote things, being like, do this, like your girl will love it.
yeah,
Got it from there,
No
100%.
way an alpha male recommends that. Like, that would be so fucking
yeah.
crazy.
There's a guy that like gives like sexual advice to men, and it's like, can you please just leave that to the women, please?
Literally. And all the advice is just
Wow.
horrendous.
Yeah, it's not
Good night,
good.
Wolfie.
It would not surprise me if he was like listening to one of them and it was like, yes,
I had a
I'm
girl
gonna
do
follow
it to
these
me
idiots.
once, and I like jumped, and she was like, oh my God, like,
No way.
yeah, but she liked that, so she thought that she was like doing a good thing, I guess, and
Oh, so it's women like her that are the problem. Okay.
I was
Hmm.
Well, she's the one who's normalizing this shit. I would blame her. Go on.
No, yeah, but she was just like, you don't like that? And I was like, no, I really, really don't like that. Like,
That was not enjoyable.
yeah, it was not good. But she at least like took direction and like didn't do it again. Like I feel like we'll be like, hey, like I don't really like that. And then guys will be like, no, 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 this is good. This is good stuff. Like
Yeah. Or he'll like go away and try to like improve his technique and then try again. He'd be like going practicing in the mirror.
All right, so hang on, hang on. I will speak up for men on this one, all right? I know that one of the biggest complaints is that when you all tell us to do something, that we try to improvise. I understand that that's a big complaint.
Yeah.
However, however, you have to respect the fact that the pressure to perform is largely on men. And for that reason, I think
what?
we're constant. It's
I
largely on men.
disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, I really disagree with that.
I disagree.
Okay. All right. Sure thing. All right. So you would agree that women are doing most of the physical activity in the bedroom?
I am.
I think it does depend on like position as well. But like
Women are doing most of the physical activity in.
overall, I'd say like yeah.
I feel like guys don't even have the hard part. Like,
No,
Yeah.
it's not
Thank you,
even that
Odin.
difficult.
Oh, we don't have the dip. Okay. All right. I give you that. We're no longer having an honest conversation.
no, I
We're
feel
no
like,
longer
hold
having an
on.
honest
No,
conversation.
it's so
Hold on.
honest, Iris.
Wait.
You
I
just don't
feel
want to hear
like
the truth.
I feel as someone who does both, I feel like giving men oral is a lot harder than women.
Wait, I would agree that
Mm,
it's more physically
Yes.
straining,
Yes.
but it's not more complicated.
No,
It's
I
like
wouldn't say
fucking
complicated.
defragging a 1999 Commodore 64 when you're going down on a woman. Like there's no instruction manual, and there's no often there's no directions. You're just totally fucking winging it, and there's a
Well, then
thousand
wait,
different button suppression. You're not sure which one will work for them.
no,
Whereas for a man, like there's like one thing you got to do, and
no,
you'll get an A passing grade.
yeah, but
no,
like
Irish,
it's just a lot of
like
effort.
with women, like there's only one button. It's just the one, and I really don't think it's that hard to find. And then
It's
when
not.
No,
Men just
you're
aren't good at
strongly
finding it.
okay, and
no.
then
So first of all, it's not just one button though. You can't just say that. Some women
it's
are.
split.
No, but there's two different. No, because there's some women who are going to be more by penetration, and there's going to be some more that are stimulated by clitoral stimulation, and like that's your first divide. And then when it comes to clitoral stimulation, the speed, the pulse, the pressure, all that's
Why
going to
are
vary
why
wildly.
don't you like talk to her about this before you do it? Like,
You do, but that's the point. With a man, you don't have to have a conversation. It's
yeah,
like the
you
same thing.
do.
You do.
Bullshit.
You
I do.
absolutely do. Well,
You do.
first of all, like because some guys like slow, some guys like fast, some guys like
Hmm.
hands with.
And all guys like any of what you just discussed.
Hold
So
on.
you're
Wait,
right. There may be a preference,
hold on.
but a man will enjoy everything you just said.
Some guys like hands with, some guys do not. Some guys
Hmm.
like ball stuff, some guys do not. So you have to like talk to him and just be like, "Do you like this? Do you like this? Like, what about this?" And then you have to like ask him like while you're doing it, like, "Is that good?" Like, it's not that hard. And it's the same thing with women. Like, go down there, like, have a little conversation at some point, whether you're having dinner or it comes up over text. Ask her what she likes. And if she likes both, like, fingering and getting, like, her clit stimulated, do that. Start off soft and slow, build intensity, and, like, let her fucking communicate with you.
And she'll guide you. Like she'll
Yeah.
literally guide you. It's
Oh,
not even that
no,
hard.
no, no. I've no complaints about that. Women absolutely do guide and give direction, right? Odin, question for you.
Yeah.
What percentage of women that you've been with have ever asked you what you want in that department?
Fuck.
When
Take
they're
like
going down on you, how many have asked you for direction on how to pleasure you?
maybe one or two.
Really?
Right?
Really?
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Hardly ever. And to be fair, but to be fair, Marley, like I recognize there's a lot of women who have a lot of vulnerability or embarrassment about not being good at that. There's a lot of nervousness. And so I do think like an important part of being a guy in that situation is making them feel comfortable and making them feel validated they're doing a good job. Because I think a lot of women are really worried they're not. But I will agree with Odin. I could count on one hand the number of women who've said, Do you want me to do this? Do you like it when I do this? Like, I never ever. It's so fucking rare.
See, like, but that's how you like. But I feel like if I was nervous about like being good or bad, that's just how I would combat that. It's like it's so easy. It's like instead of like going down and guessing and hoping for the best, if I just ask you beforehand and then I know guessing and hoping for the best, and I know exactly what you like, and I just go down and do
Exactly.
that. And I feel like this is part of like I don't know. I think it's really really important just for even like just for sexual boundaries, like to talk about it beforehand. And then not only that, like when you're down there, like to kind of like you need like feedback. And I also like I like to debrief her. Like after I have sex, like I like to fucking debrief. Like I like to be like, okay, how is this? How is that? Like, did you like this? I tried this. Like, what did you
Definitely,
do when you were doing
definitely.
this?
That's
Yeah,
very
no.
important. Or I didn't enjoy this, or when this happened, I thought this was normal. Do you guys not do that with your partner?
That's
No,
what
no, no, no.
I'm
Hang
like
on.
so blown away by is the fact
No,
that
no. I'm
this is
saying that
even.
women don't do this.
Yes, we do.
That's not
No.
true. We do, men. And the thing is, I don't
Odin
know.
and I have had more sex with women than I'm assuming you guys have. I'm telling you right now, women don't ordinarily
debatable.
say, "How would you like me to go down on you?" I've not had hardly any women ever
In
say.
reality,
You're sleeping with the
okay,
wrong person.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
slept with
you're just
most
picking
people,
the.
so I don't
You're
know.
picking. You're,
Well,
you're,
wrong
you're
people.
No, most people. What do you mean by most people? Like you sound like an old person anyway. So I don't know what you mean by most.
I am
people
an old
there.
person. This is true.
So yeah, that explains it. The older generation of people have one way of thinking, so it's a different thing altogether. Right?
So hold on, real quick. Like you're kind of making assumptions about like how we operate. Like I am, but also like I don't know. Like, I've just genuinely never like. It's extremely rare that someone asks me the kind of questions that I'm asking them. And it's
How old are you? What age range are you in? You don't have to give me exactly what the age.
but like Marlon, you know how you were talking about like okay, like the pressure, the stimulation.
He said he's 32. He's 32.
Yeah. I just
That generation will. Okay.
I mean, I'm 28 and I do it. So I mean,
Yeah,
me and Odin
yeah.
are the same
I'm
generation.
in my 20s as well, so I'm like, we do it for sure. So I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck do you want about lads?
So am I.
I think
feel like
I think it's a generation thing for sure.
well no.
Yeah, I
because-
think you guys.
It has to
like,
be because that's
have-
weird. How is
No,
it that you like?
here-
Because
here's-
some lads, some lads like anal, and some lads don't like anal. It's like the minute you go around there, they will give you a black eye. Do you know? So
No,
you,
but
you,
now
you
you're,
need to
you're
know.
now you're, but now you're talking about a different thing, right? We're talking
No,
about
it's not.
specifically.
It's not a different part. It's the same thing.
It's a
just
very
down
different
there.
part. It's a very
It's a
different part.
it's all.
I
down
want a woman
there.
asking for a
It's
green
all
flag to go
down
anywhere near
there.
that part.
It's
Okay?
all down there. It's all down there. And sometimes
Do not listen to this woman. Do not group those parts together.
Lads, it depends on the guy, okay? It depends on the guy. Because the G spot for lads is in the arsehole. But anyway, having said that,
No,
right?
not mine. Not mine.
Anyway,
Mine is broken, okay?
we have experience, okay?
Anyway, yeah, some guys like their balls to be sucked, and some guys don't. So I don't know how you haven't had this conversation with women. It's weird. It's actually
Right.
weird.
No. Hang on. Yeah, we're talking about whether or not women ask when they're going down.
Yeah, and we do.
And we're
Well, I
telling you,
think-
we do. We
Hold
do.
on. I think if
What
hold on,
type
wait.
of women are you hanging up with? Like,
Well, I don't want to like sex shame women that like aren't comfortable communicating. Like if you've
They're probably
experienced-
nervous.
No. What I'm saying is, because there's a difference of generation, I genuinely think that, because the difference of generation is that I think we have emphasized consent a lot more in the early 20s and
Suck
late,
my cock.
now, fuck. Do you know what?
Suck
What
my
the fuck is this guy? Oh, you fucking bastard. Ew.
Okay, Marley, can I address something you said, please?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were talking about and I don't disagree with you. There's a lot that goes into stimulation, right? There's direct stimulation, there's indirect stimulation, there's pressure, there's speed, all that shit, right?
Right.
Everything that you mentioned there is stuff that has to get taken into account. And I do ask for that feedback, and I listen for a lot of biological feedback as well, right? I pay attention to a lot. Dudes, you grab it and you stroke in a direction and you keep going, and then it's like, oh, okay.
No, but I
Like,
feel like I've definitely heard guys talk about girls who have given like terrible blowjobs or terrible hand jobs or like who aren't great at sex. Or like I've heard guys like complain loudly and proudly about women who they haven't had like positive sexual experiences with.
Yeah.
So
Men
like
do
I
that a
feel
lot.
like the way you just avoid that. I mean, and this is like these conversations are happening not just to like perform well, but also for like as I think it was I think Miss Florence who said this, like just for consent purposes, for sexual boundary purposes, like understanding like what exactly you like, what you're okay with, what you're comfortable with. Because like I think the biggest way I've learned this lesson is like like ball stimulation. Like there's a lot of guys that like actually really don't like that. And if or maybe they do but be very gentle, and then there are some guys that really like you to like go in, you know. So like
Wait, what do
if
you
you want to
mean?
know when you're going down there, like it's good to know before you get there than like find out in the moment. So I feel like this is like conversations that everyone should like if they're not, they should be initiating.
Wait, hang on. I'm gonna ask.
Definitely.
I'm gonna ask.
Definitely.
I'm gonna ask all the women to mute for a moment, and Odin and I are gonna have a man discussion real quick. Odin, do you know any men that don't like their balls being tickled or caressed?
I mean, from
The
my
fuck? Sorry, I'm hoping you gay or something.
Hang on, we're having a man conference. Hold on.
I
Like,
mean,
are you
God.
I
are you
have-
aware?
God, fuck.
Are you aware of any men who've told you she touched my balls and I freaked out? I've never heard that.
God,
Are you aware?
fuck.
Are you aware of any men who've told you she touched my balls and I freaked out? I've never heard that before.
like maybe if it was like too hard, but other than that, like no.
Yeah, exactly. So I've heard of the ball bashers, and like men are terrified.
That like no.
Yeah, exactly. So I've heard of the ball bashers, and like men are terrified of that. But I've never heard a man say that they dislike their balls being played with.
And
Oh
I'll
wait,
be
hold on.
honest.
Eamon is calling us out. Eamon is saying that some men do because they're too What do you mean too sensitive? What the hell's sensitive with my balls? What?
Well, I'll be
We're not
honest too,
talking
though.
about pushing them.
I
We're not
know
talking
some
about taking
people
a
that don't
potato
like it.
masher to them.
Right, but you don't get to keep trying either, is the thing. Like, if you grab it too hard and I feel like you're going to treat it like a stress ball kind of thing, or just like,
Yeah,
I don't know, like
gone.
a fidget spinner, like, no, we're done. We're not going to, like, try to find the appropriate amount of pressure. Like, that shit.
We don't trust you. The trust is
some
broken
people
at
like
that point.
do
I
that.
agree.
Some guys
You
are
guys
like,
won't
don't
do well.
even go near that. Like, don't
Yeah,
touch
you won't
it.
do well when it comes to
Don't go
domination.
near it.
Yeah,
with
but
women.
hang on,
Go
but that's only because we've had ball busters like Marley go. Because we've had ball busters like Marley go too hard before, and we're
No,
traumatized. It's a fear. It's not
No.
because of the fact you don't like
Wow,
it.
not ball
I've
bust.
never gone.
Marley, I have to honor you because you I'm in that sector as well. BDSM when it comes to like
No, I've
being in
never
control.
I've never
I
fisted a guy's balls. Let's be
it's a
so
different it's a different thing. Do you know what?
I don't know. I feel like you're rough,
Scary?
Marley. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
No.
If you want her to be rough,
Molly and I are incredible, okay?
I
I've
just
never
feel like she would consider it like rolling dough or something. I don't know
No.
if I trust Marley. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think
Just,
I
like,
don't really
kneading,
ever like use
Slap it on the table really quickly, just like fucking.
I feel
No.
like she
You know
would
the game
consider it
that's
like
like-
making a pizza or something. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
If I trust
first
Marley.
of all, wait,
Irish,
let's get
do you know the
something
game
so
that's like
clear.
pop
Let's get
it?
something straight.
Like,
I'm not
Oh yeah.
pop
I'm not
it,
a
twist it, pull
dominatrix.
it.
I'm fully a sub, so I'm not a dominatrix, and I'm not.
Oh, twins!
Yeah.
No. See, 'cause
no,
that's that
lads, come
That's
on,
not what I
really?
mean, though.
No, see, that's that dangerous. Let me tell you why that's dangerous. Because you are probably so subby that if someone asked you to be a top, you would fucking try it. And because you haven't been a top,
No, I don't.
you're one. I would believe you're one of those people that it's like, oh, that's what a safe word's for, and just start swinging full force.
No, I
Oh,
like.
I love the
I've
assumptions
only-
in this room, lads. I swear to God, this foot is.
No, I'm like a bratty sub, and I've had guys try to pull that on me and be like, "So you do it then," and then like that's totally how you get me because that's totally how I'm like, "Well, now I don't know what to do." No, I don't.
No,
want to.
but Marley, what I would say is sort of similar to what Odin said, is that if a man says they don't want their balls being played with, that it is more sort of similar to what Odin said, is that it's more likely than not that they had a prior traumatic experience, because I know lots of men who will say they don't want a woman to use their hands, but it's almost always because a woman previously used their hands wrong.
So like I've had discussions like with guys where like I'll ask them, I'll be like, do you like ball stimulation? Like do you like if your balls are like sucked on or like played with a little bit? Like do you like any of that or no? And like I've had guys be like, yeah, go for it. And then I've had guys be like, no, like just stay away, don't touch at all, don't suck, don't lick, nothing. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Like we won't go there then.
Yeah, but my point is, I don't think it's because they don't enjoy it. It's fear of prior bad interactions. Because, like,
I
there's
guess,
lots
yeah.
of things I say
But
no
that's an
to.
assumption you're making, though, Irish. That's an assumption. You haven't. You're not the one who's shagging these men, are you?
Not recently, no.
Recently.
Well,
Right,
I don't know
so
who
that's
Marley's
a
been with.
conclusion. Well, the thing is, that's an assumption you're making. You know, like being a dom. I think men love being submissive. Being submissive. I swear to God, I never thought men love to be pegged. Being submissive. I swear so much.
Nope.
I am sorry, lads. Men love it, and the thing is, I don't know. It's because sometimes you just have to. You have to not be judgmental. I think we're a bit lads. Sunset here is so fucking nice. That's the part
This is-
turning. Sorry.
To me, it's not judgmental. It's just closed for business. It's not that I'm judging people who enjoy it. I just know where I'm at in that regard.
this is quickly becoming.
I'm much.
Meanwhile, men like yourself will continue to wear fucking skinny jeans. Oh, I hate that shit. It's so weird, man. Sorry, go on.
Okay, so
Go
like,
ahead, Odin.
yeah, I feel like the conversation about people that are bad at sex, though, I don't think this is a gendered issue. If I'm just going to be totally honest, the women that I have had like horrible sex with, one was like the person who literally did tell me. She's like, "Oh, well, that's what a safe word's for," and just started beating the shit out of me like from the jump. I mean,
Whoa,
like whatever.
The
What?
But like,
that is crazy.
but the like a lot of times it comes down to like purity culture based shit too, where people just aren't comfortable with their sexuality, so they don't know what they really like. Because like, if a dude is like, okay, I don't know that I want my balls touched, you can still like get them off pretty fucking easily. But like women, there's so much more than just like a little bit of stimulation to get a woman off. Like, I'm so sorry. If it was as easy as just clicking a button repeatedly, like women wouldn't nearly have the issue getting off as they do.
Yeah, Marley, you're not surely claiming that a woman is as easy to navigate as a man is.
I don't know if it's because I am a woman, but like I don't find them to be like particularly more complicated.
I
And I
agree.
but I feel like it's also because like maybe it's because I'm a woman, like men look at like women and like pleasuring women as this like going into a spaceship you've never flown before, where it's like there's all these fucking things going on and like I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I feel like men kind of go in confused and they're not really sure what to do. And there's just this like slight moment of hesitation where they're like, should I push this button? Should I do this? Should I not do that? And then it just ultimately ends in like catastrophe. I just feel like they make it way more complicated than it needs to be.
No,
And I will give you this, that like sometimes part of that is because there are, I guess, women who like aren't as comfortable in their sexuality, like they don't even know what they like, some of them. So
So
maybe
I was actually
yeah.
just about to say that, which is I am realizing now that most of my sex was when I was in my 20s. And now that I'm thinking about it, when I have sex now that I'm older with women who are in their 30s and 40s, it is very different. And so now I really am realizing that I am talking about sex in my 20s. And I think it's what you're talking about, Marley, which is I do think that there is a slower uptick for women to know what it is they really enjoy, because I think that women are conditioned to prioritize men in sex in the beginning, and that meaning in the beginning of when they first have sex in their late teens, 20s, And that as a result of that, it takes a while for them to really figure out what it is they really enjoy, which means they're not able to also ask for it necessarily as well. So I do think it's different from having sex in your 20s versus having sex in your 30s or 40s.
Yeah, and I just think also like depending on your
In your 20s versus having sex in your 30s or 40s.
yeah, and I just think also like depending on your relationship with sex, it's going to be different as well. Like a lot of people don't feel comfortable. Like I mean, like we're talking about these conversations like they're so easy and it's so like whatever, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable. Like I mean, like we're talking about these conversations like they're so easy and it's so like whatever, but I do agree with what you said earlier, where a lot of people don't even feel comfortable talking about this.
Especially when you have religion that's put into it. Oh God, be Jesus Christ! It's like we're actually sinning now. But no, even the conversation about sex toys, having that around to help you kind of figure out, where a G spot is and what gets you going and what type of things you're into. That type of discussion is not something that is seen to be just, a casual discussion that you would have with your friends. It's more or less so a taboo. Because for some reason well, at least within my peers, there's kind of like an argument to be made that if you use sex toys, you're technically you're taking sex toys, you're technically you're taking it away. You're taking the pleasure or that your partner's gonna provide to you away from what he can do. Like you're,
Huh?
do you get me? Am I making sense? Like,
Who argues that?
Well, are you?
listen, I swear to God, I was like, these motherfuckers are crazy, but like, this is what they.
Are
Huh?
you saying that you're against toys, or that other people feel that way?
No,
about it?
no,
No.
she's not. She's not saying she
Oh,
is.
okay. I was so confused for a second. I was like, that's a wild turn.
I don't know many women who are against toys.
No, okay, the thing is, right, my peers that I was talking to, listen, they kind of dipped in and out of religion, so I blame religion in regards to this type of ideology, but basically, they hold the perspective that if you use sex toys to pleasure yourself, your level of sensation of getting off is going to be risen a bit higher. So therefore your partner is
Oh,
not
I've
able
heard
to be
people make
able
that
to
argument.
meet that standard of like, of that standard of
Yeah, I feel like this argument started to
of
develop when women started or when people started making the argument of corn escalation, where men are going to get into more and more fetishized stuff the more they use corn. I feel like I started hearing in response to that, men making the claim that women using toys will start setting unrealistic expectations for women of orgasms. And I think I think it's,
stupid.
personally, yeah, I think it's nonsense. Like, I don't really understand that at all. I think it's
Yeah,
honestly an incel talking point, to be honest with you, because they feel like they're being replaced.
I mean, if you find yourself in competition with a toy, step your fucking game up. I don't know what to tell you.
I just feel like normalizing toys in the bedroom whilst you're doing it, I just feel like it just makes it an altogether better experience for the both of you. You may as well.
I'm more selfish. To me, it's just fucking easier. Like, it's less work. So, like, I'm
Oh,
pro
yeah, but
toy.
the
Like,
woman
it's like having an
tend
extra set
to,
of hands. Like, yeah, 100%.
but we tend to enjoy it more when the toys are in there, you know?
Well, yeah,
Like,
you
if
can
you
I'm
just
also
use
pro.
both.
There's literally no downside to using a toy.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, we need to just like promote their use more in the bedroom.
thing is, I've told my friend that I'm like, you're missing out, and I was so eager to order her something from Amazon to help her out. She's like, no, I don't want
Oh,
to do
that makes me
it.
sad.
So I'm like, listen, okay, you do you, hon, you do you. I couldn't give a fuck. All right. Yeah. You see, this is the thing. Religion is so fucked up that if I could burn the Bible, I really sorry. Yeah, I really would, because it's just such a manipulative ideology that just fucks up everyone else's perception of self-worth. everything, and it strips you of the identity of humanity. I genuinely, but anyway, that's beside the point. We're talking about Smiths right now, but yeah. Pegging is a thing, ladies. I would recommend you ask your partner if they're into that. Not all men are into it. Some of them are very, very, very not.
And men, I would say it's okay to trust your instinct. And if you have a feeling you don't like it, you don't have to try it in order to confirm it. Just trust your instinct. Trust me on this.
Why are we?
No, that's Irish. Irish, you didn't come into my arms, so therefore I can't do my magic
I'm not
onto
coming
you.
into
You know?
anything. I'm